I'm Ian Brown from Thomson Cooper. Welcome to Reset Your Debt, our continuing series of video blogs to help inform individuals and businesses how to deal with problem debt. Over the course of the next 3 videos, I'd like to tell you about bankruptcy, or sequestration as it's called in Scotland, and how it can work to help you deal with personal debt and some of the advantages and disadvantages. As I've discussed previously, struggling with unsecured debt can be incredibly stressful and place a strain on you, your health and well-being, and your family relationships. It can also affect your work. The good news is that it doesn't have to be this way, and that we at TC Debt Solutions can help. Going into bankruptcy can have a real impact on your future financial situation. With this in mind, it's important to seek advice from an insolvency practitioner and consider other options which may be available first, before taking the decision to apply for bankruptcy. That said, bankruptcy can also be a positive way forward in the right set of circumstances. The first thing to note is that you have to fulfill 2 key criteria to be able to apply for your own bankruptcy. 1, you must be resident in Scotland, and 2, you must have unsecured debts of more than £1,500 that you are unable to pay back. So what does applying for bankruptcy mean? Bankruptcy is a formal insolvency process under which your estate transfers to your trustee, known as vesting. Your trustee is appointed to take control of your financial situation as a whole and will realise assets where appropriate and liaise with your creditors with a view to paying a return to them where possible. You should only be applying for bankruptcy if all other avenues have been explored and you're genuinely unable to meet your unsecured debts in any other way. If you do go bankrupt, then you will remain in that state for a minimum of 1 year. Your name and details will also be added to the Register of Insolvencies and will remain on this public register for a period of 5 years. So what are the 3 types of bankruptcies? Well, the first is involuntary bankruptcy, known as a creditor petition, in which a creditor can apply to have you declared bankrupt. Normally, creditors are able to take bankruptcy action where you owe more than £3,000. However, under the current emergency coronavirus Scotland regulations, the amount you would have to owe has been increased to £10,000. The second is voluntary bankruptcy, or a debtor application, under which you can apply for your own sequestration if your debts are more than your assets and you owe more than £3,000. And the third way is the minimal asset process, or MAP bankruptcy, which is similar to the debtor application process but subject to certain additional entry criteria. For example, your unsecured debts must total no less than £1,500 and no more than £25,000 under the current emergency COVID legislation. In normal circumstances, it would be an upper limit of £17,000. In addition, you must have assets that are worth no more than £2,000 and no individual asset can be worth more than £1,000. Other restrictions may also apply. Is bankruptcy the right thing to do? Bankruptcy can offer you a way out of what can be seemingly overwhelming debt and can allow you to take control of the situation yourself. Critically, you do not need creditor approval to do this. Applying for bankruptcy is not in itself a bad thing. In the right circumstances, it can be the right thing to do. So what happens if I declare bankruptcy? You can declare bankruptcy voluntarily. To do this, you need to submit a debtor application. This will draw a line in the sand in terms of how you manage your debts. It's a big step, but it will allow you to move forward even if you are confronted by some tough realities as a result of taking this course of action. Before any of this happens, working with you, we will advise you of whether you qualify for bankruptcy and establish whether you really are insolvent in terms of the legislation. We will also look at the possibility of a trusted or a debt arrangement scheme at this stage as potential alternative solutions to your financial issues. Next time I'll discuss the next steps in the process of applying for bankruptcy. If you'd like more information, please contact me or one of my colleagues at Thomson Cooper. Details are at the end of this video.